Boo. Hey y'all, hey y'all. Hey, it's your girl, Lexx. I forgot I made this song like really long, but welcome back to Life of Lexx on another day of the life of Lexx. Yeah. How y'all feeling? How y'all living? I am on the edge. Like, please do not push me, okay? I just don't know what to do with my life because I I I don't know. I guess what I wanted to do for today's episode, right, is that on this podcast, I talk about the things that happen in my life rather than who am I? Who is Big Lexx? Right? Because I am more than my trauma. Okay? I can tell you that for sure. And honestly, in my personal opinion, not yours, not your mommy, not your daddy, not your auntie, because not nobody else's opinion but mine, right? I am one of the smartest people that I know. Feel as however you want to feel about that, but I'm pretty smart. Not to just brag, but it's just like I didn't know that I was as smart as I was, right? Because I remember I was in kindergarten, right? So I was about 6 years old, right? So I'm going on the playground, and this teacher stops me, and she's like, "Hey, you're gonna be in my class next year. You took a test, and you got this score, and so you get to be in the gifted program." And I was 5 or 6 years old, so I'm like, "Okay, I'm finna go play on the dinosaur." You know what I'm saying? Because my school had a big, nice, beautiful playground. And it's called Park Elementary because my mom said that before they made it into a school, it used to be a park. So they had a nice park, right? So I was more concerned about going to go play on the park than what this lady was talking about, right? But then next year, I get put in this lady's class, and I'll go there once a week. And there was another boy. No, there was another boy and another girl in my class. So three of us. And we would go once a week to get the program. It was called Odyssey, right? And we would learn about just different things. Like, I remember we learned about how passports work. We learned Spanish. Like, I learned how to count in Spanish by like the first grade. And that's nothing I would have just learned in regular class, right? And we would just do all sorts of different activities. Like I remember one year we did us like a learning thing of the rainforest and animals and bugs and shit that's in the rainforest, right? And so my teachers, they brought us mealworms, okay? And if you don't know what a mealworm is, it's a worm, okay? And we had it in containers with some oatmeal, right? And they roll around the oatmeal, and then one day they go in, they hibernate, and they turn into a beetle, right? So we got to take them home, and I didn't think that my mom was gonna let me keep the mealworm because it was a bug, right? So I put it in a little plastic container, put it on my bed, right? After 2 days, I forgot about it. So a couple months later, comes to my head, hey, it's something under your bed. So I look under there and I'm like, oh shit, I forgot about the mealworm. So I pulled the container out. Oatmeal got mold all over it, right? and the mealworm sheds its skin, right? So the skin was laying on top. So I'm like, oh, well, it's already a beetle, right? And then I remembered like a couple days before that I remembered that I had that there, I had stepped on a beetle. And I was like, well, damn, right? I had to be no older than like 7 or 8 when this happened, right? So with that being said, like this program was very helpful in my development. Like I learned things that I just wouldn't have known naturally or just by going to regular classes. And that's because I took a test in kindergarten and I was chosen to be in this class to do these things. So, as you're in the gifted program, like people join, people don't leave or whatever. You get to around the 5th grade and they're like, oh, well, you're probably going into advanced classes when you get into middle school. And so I was put in like an advanced math class and an advanced language arts class in middle school. And I didn't know why. Like, I didn't ask for it. I just went to school because I had to, right? So I realized that, well, when I'm in middle school, right? So there's 2 other black girls, 1 black boy in his class. I'm the only girl from my school because there are 4 elementary schools in my county. And we all met up at this intermediate school for 5th and 6th grade. So I was in 6th grade. So I was the only one from my school in this class, in this advanced class. So these kids went to different schools and knew each other and whatnot. And they had a different curriculum than what I had over at Park Elementary, right? So whenever they would know something that I didn't know, they would think that, oh, well, I don't know anything. Or people from my school didn't know much. But we were in the same class. Like, I don't know. But I always just felt like I had something to prove, right? And so the 2 other black girls, they were kind of iffy with me because they were like, if they all like her, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I guess I was weird. I was always weird to people in middle school and in elementary school and in high school. Like, people thought I was weird or mostly just weird and ugly and fat. But I was just more observant than anything. I'm very observant. Like, you may think that I'm not listening, but I'm listening to what you said and then what you didn't say at the same time. Okay? Like, my brain is always going. I'm always thinking about what's written on the lines and what's written in between them, or what's not written in between them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm always thinking about something. Like, you can say a word and I'll think of a song and just start singing sometimes. I don't really do that on this podcast because it's more of me talking, so it would just be weird if I just started singing by myself. But if we were in conversation, then expect me to bring up a song or 2. But that's just me, though. So I guess I don't know why, like how I'm considered smart, because sometimes I used to just think that I was just slow. Oh, people used to call me slow all the time because I'm slow to act, not slow to think. Or I'm slow to speak, but I'm not slow to think. Let's get that one clear. Because people think that when I say like, huh, or what, that means that I didn't understand. No, it's me buying time to come up with a proper response so I can rehear what you just said and make sure that I understood and comprehended it so that I can form a proper response. It's not that I'm slow in thinking. It's just I'm slow in acting, slow in speaking. Because it's a thought process. And my thought process is very, very, very lengthy. And that is something that I realize I have to work on. Because I can put a whole movie script together in my head just based off of anything. Like, for example, when I'm driving in a car and I'll see, like, in the road, like, the edge of the road looks a little, like, steep. And so if you were to have veered off the road a little bit, you would have popped your tire, right? You know what I'm talking about? So when I see that, I'll put an image in my head of an accident or something like that. But that also comes from me driving and not paying attention and veering off the side of the road and popping a tire. And I did that once or twice. More likely twice. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm always seeing things before they happen so that I can act accordingly. I also can sing. I used to want to be a singer. I wanted to be the next Beyonce. Okay. The next Aaliyah, the next Michael Jackson. Okay. But I guess as I got older, I realized that, you know what? I don't want Michael Jackson's problems. I don't want Beyonce's problems. I don't want Aaliyah's problems. I don't want nobody's problems. I don't even want my own. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to do the shit that they had to do to get to where they were and deal with the things that they dealt with while they were in those positions. Because I'm pretty sure it's not fun to wake up and everybody's calling you a pedophile. Like, do you understand how Michael Jackson could have felt just to know that people thought that low of him? Whether he did it or not, you think that low of him? I don't want to ever have nobody in a position to think that low of me. That I would do something that low. Because it's not fun, right? To know that people think so low of you. Just like it wasn't fun for me to think that people thought that I was slow when I really wasn't. I was actually very smart. When I was, I want to say 5, my mom used to make me practice writing my name. And I used to get tired of it because I already knew how to write my name. I didn't want to keep doing it, right? So I would pretend to go to sleep. And she would let me lay down and go to sleep. I didn't have to keep writing anymore. Eventually, after I did it for like a couple of days, she figured it out. But by that time, I already knew how to write my name. What was the point of me keep doing it if I knew how to write my name? I knew how to read my name before the kids in my class knew how to tie their shoes. So why am I doing all this work for? But in all honesty, if you saw my handwriting, like if you saw my signature, if you looked at my driver's license right now and looked at the signature, you would be like, what the fuck is that? But they stopped teaching me cursive after the 2nd grade. So it's not my fault. Okay, they stopped teaching me that after I turned 7 or 8. So it's not my fault. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, I should have practiced those things that mattered more than what I already knew how to do. But I did it. You know what I'm saying? And one thing I always tell people is that when I was in high school, all I did was sleep and eat Fruit Loops and honey buns and drink coffee. Those things are not a lie. When I would go to class, take my notes, do the homework, do the worksheet or whatever, go sleep. When allowed, like when I was given the opportunity, when that was the way the class was set up, okay? Or if we was watching a movie, I'm going to sleep. I'm not watching this movie with you. I don't care if I have to write a whole paper about the movie. I'm going to Google it. You're not even going to see me Google it, but I'm going to Google it. And I'm going to write you a very nice essay about this movie. And you're going to think I actually watched it. And I did not. And it got me pretty far. I'm not fronting. Because I knew what I wanted to do and I knew what I didn't want to do. I ain't finna sit here and watch this movie just for the fun of it. But I can go to sleep. Because I didn't go to sleep because I stayed up 3 a.m. doing homework. I used to stay up to like 1 a.m. doing homework. And then get up at 5 a.m. and take a 30-minute shower. And do a full face of makeup. And drink coffee, like 2 cups of coffee every day. Sometimes 3. And go to school. For like 8 hours. That shit's crazy. But yeah. I used to sleep a lot because I didn't really sleep at home. Like I would get home from school like 4 o'clock. And then I'd take a nap till like 6. And then get up, eat, do homework, watch TV, normal stuff until like 1 o'clock. So I didn't really... Well, my sleep schedule was all fucked up. I just put it that way, right? But I was a teenager. It was supposed to be fucked up, for 1. For 2, I was supposed to take naps all the time. That's what I was supposed to do. And that is why I am as healthy-ish as I am. So, with that being said, I remember sleeping a lot and eating a lot of dry cereal. Okay? And life at home wasn't the best, right? But I still went to school and I knew what I had to do and did it and took a nap. As long as I could take a nap, I'm not worried about shit else. Like, just let me take a nap. Because if I can't take a nap, somebody was getting cussed out. Somebody was getting, not cussed out like, oh, you piece of shit. Like, nah. More like, please leave me the fuck alone. More like, what the fuck are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was not... When I got on birth control in high school, baby, I was cussing people out. I'm so sorry. Like, that was birth control. I'm blaming it on the birth control. And being a teenager. Because I was going, like, if I hadn't had my nap, I was not to be messed with. And I was on go. But not really. Because people thought I was slow. Because I'd be slow to act. But I'd be slow to act. Because if I act too quick, then it's not going to hit like I want it to hit. I got to make sure it hit like I need it to hit. Okay? And that comes with a little thought. So I tried to keep calm in high school because in middle school I was always in the office. Always in the office. Just for stupid shit like not tucking in my shirt, walking too slow back to class, talking in the hallway. Like just dumb stuff, right? And then we had these things called point slips, and I was getting called to the office, and they're like, well, technically it's 7 point slips. You need to go to in-school suspension, but these are all silly point slips, so it's not right for us to send you to in-school suspension for not tucking in your shirt and chewing gum. It's asinine, right? And I was like, just stop. And I'm just like, it ain't me, bruh. This lady said she can only see out of the left halves of her eyes. So why am I to blame for the shit she's saying? But I really was to blame. Probably should have shut up sometimes. Probably should have tucked my shirt in. Excuse my stomach. But I probably should have held myself to a higher standard. But I was young, right? So it's more of who I was in high school. Also in high school, after I moved back to the high school that I was going to, so I moved from one high school to another and then moved back to the first one. So when I moved back, I just did my work, stayed quiet, didn't just try my best not to make no noise, be noticed, right? So my senior year, I'm just chilling, walking down the hallway, doing my thing. And my principal, he was always, there was a rumor that he was always a little drunk, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes he would act like it, right? So this day, he stops me. He was like, hey, young lady. I was like, yes, sir. He was like, I know you. We've been talking about you. And you don't need to be in regular classes. You need to be in honors classes, advanced classes, AP classes. I'm like, why? He was like, you need to be in those classes. I was like, okay. I just walked off, right? And then they started putting me in advanced and honors classes without my permission. But the thing is, when I got to high school, I got myself out of advanced classes because I was in an advanced math class, and I was like, you know what? One thing I'm not finna do is be like Jesse from Saved by the Bell and got to take some damn Adderall to do this damn homework. I ain't gonna do that. So what I'm gonna do is go to the regular class, learn the shit, get it done, get a good grade. And that was what I set my mind to do for 4 years. And towards the end of those 4 years, they're like, hey, that was cute, what you did, but we caught you, right? But I was already ahead of the game, so because I had good grades. So even when I slipped up from time, I still had good grades in the classes that mattered. So at the time I graduated, they're handing out pieces of paper to let you know, like, if you're graduating with honors or honors with distinctions or not, or what your GPA is, right? And I get a piece of paper. I'm like, what's this? And one of my friends, who was probably one of the smartest people I knew at the time, she was like, you got a piece of paper, Muriel? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, let me see. And so I gave it to her. And she was like, you know you're graduating with honors? And I was like, huh? What that mean? She was like, that means you're in the top half of the class, top part of the class. I'm like, bitch, what? Bitch, I was number 121 or 120. I think I was 121. You know what I'm saying? But I was 121 out of like 400 or something. So, shit. But even then, I just didn't feel, well, as that was coming to my knowledge, right? I was like, okay. At that time, it was my senior year, so I was taking my SATs, ACTs, took the SAT. I didn't really study for it, and I was almost late. I woke up late, had to take a shower, dry my eyebrows on, and go. Give me a chicken biscuit on the way. And I had a bag, like a box of Scooby snacks. And got me a chicken biscuit on the way. I was good to go. Okay. So, go take my SAT. That shit was like 4 hours. That shit is torture. But anyways, took it. Ran into my boyfriend that I had when I was 9 years old there. And I was like, is that Bobby? And then I was like, that is Bobby. But he was my boyfriend when I was like 9 years old. But anyways, ACT, kind of the same thing. I didn't really study for it. I just took it. I was skipping whole pages in the science section. Not even gonna lie to you. I didn't know that shit. Same thing with the SAT. I was skipping whole pages. Like, I'm not even gonna play with y'all. Not gonna play with myself. I'm not gonna play with you. I don't understand the shit. Just flip the page. Don't worry about what I got on the SAT or the ACT. Just know I got into the schools I wanted to get into. So I had an option, right? So let me tell y'all how I picked schools, right? Because I got in early acceptance for both. So it's West Georgia, University of West Georgia, and Valdosta State. So for my 18th birthday, my best friend, she was like, I got a surprise for you. So she came, picked me up. We went to University of West Georgia for a basketball game. And guess who they're playing? Valdosta State. So I'm like, you know what? You brought me to the right place. This was God, right? So I'm like, whoever win the game, that's whose school I'm going to. And that's how I ended up at the University of West Georgia. Right? It was my first choice, but that's not why I went there. I went there because they won the basketball game. So, went to West Georgia. And I went thinking that I wanted to be a math teacher, a high school math teacher, because I had really cool high school math teachers. 2 of them, Mr. Carlson and Miss Wadsworth. And they were so, like, they were like yin and yang. Like, she was the female version of him, he was the male version of her. Like, they had the both same amount of sarcasm that would just make you want to scream. And can't, because they will put you out. They will tell you to shut the fuck up. Okay? Shut the hell up. That's what he told us. He said, shut the hell up. Okay? So, I wanted to be a high school math teacher. Like them, right? I wanted to be a cool teacher. As I was taking college math classes, I breezed through pre-calc. I didn't even have to take my final. That's how good I was. And it was my first semester of college. So that was in the midst of me losing my virginity. First semester of college. Trying weed for the first time. Getting drunk for the first time. First month. All this in the first month. Okay? And after that, it was just party. From Thursday through Sunday. Okay? It's party. Got my work done. Because me and my friends, we made that a priority to get our work done. But that was just the first semester. Second semester shit got a little rocky. Can't even tell you how I did in my second semester classes. But I can tell you that I made Dean's List the first semester. That was it. But second semester, I started working, and I would work late night graveyard shifts from like 2 to 4 a.m., 4 to 6 a.m., 6 to 8 a.m. That's just so annoying. But that's also one thing about me. I can work. I work. We used to pick our own shifts, and I would sign myself up to work from 12 to 8 a.m. and get a large coffee from McDonald's and go do it. I probably had an attitude, but I did it. You know what I'm saying? And then went home, took a shower, took a nap, and still showed back up that same day. Like they didn't just see me a couple hours ago. You know what I'm saying? So, when I got to college, it was more about working, making money. Because, people say that they work to pay their way through school. No, they work to survive their way through school. Which should not be the case. And I wish it was not the case for me. Because refund checks only stretch so much. Okay? And ain't nobody just gonna provide you money to live. And it's so hard to do both. If you did both, I know that you are not okay. You do not know what is wrong with you. You taking a couple pills. Okay? You drinking wine to calm down and relax your nerves after a long day of work. Okay. If you did all that and you got a good job after graduating, it's some soul searching you might need to do. Because you really lost it. I lost mine. I didn't know who I was, what the hell I wanted to do. I just knew that I was not happy. I was just dropping classes left to right. I was going through my messages, and one of my roommates, I was going through the pictures, my messages, and my roommate was like, "Oh, you withdrew from 2 classes, so you're never going to graduate. All you do is withdraw, da, da, da." And I was like, actually, I withdrew from 4, but thank you for worrying about my academics. And I said, no, don't worry you need to stop worrying about not cheating on your girlfriend. And then she was ready to knock my head off, right? And that should have let me know then that that's not me. I don't like to fight. I used to think that I wanted to, and I wanted to portray myself like that, but I'm not finna fight nobody. If I had to put my hands on you, one of us is leaving in a body bag at that point. And I do not like that. Can't nobody get me like that. I cannot let nobody get me like that, right? So, all of this is to say, who is Muriel, right? So, I am smarter than I think I am, for one. Because I feel like sometimes I'm just incapable, or I don't know enough to do stuff. I really don't have to know anything. I didn't really know anything about podcasting, and here we are. And y'all are listening to my ass. Look at y'all. So, that also comes to say I didn't know anything about applying to colleges or filling out my FAFSA, but I did it all by myself. I made sure that I got my applications in. I made sure that I did my FAFSA. I did it by myself. I was independent because I didn't have parents, technically. Technically, yes, I have parents that are alive, right? But they weren't there to I wasn't their dependent. I was independent of their care. So, I had to learn what this stuff meant, right, at 17, 18 years old, and put myself in a position to go to college and actually get in. and get financial aid and go to class. Like, fund my way through college. That shit was hard. And I'm still paying for it. I still have student loans. I'm still in school. And not by choice. Like, it's not by choice. It's more of by boredom, lack of direction for me to still be in school at this point. But I can't. I gotta find my direction. I don't know which direction I want to go into because I've just always wanted to be this or that or this or that. I'm like, now I don't know what to do because I've done so many things and I'm capable to do a lot. Like, just this morning, right? I was up till 5 a.m. trying to make a Forex robot or a Bitcoin robot for MetaTrader 4. I don't know shit about coding. I took one class in computer science. I got an A in it, but I don't understand this shit. But at least I'm trying. Because if robots are gonna rule the world one day, at least they can rule over my money and make me a lot more money. You get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But the point is, I gotta figure it out. And that's the tough part. Or maybe I don't have to figure it out at all. I just have to do because I just cannot keep going to school and tired of saying I'm a student, right? Because technically we're students for all of our lives, but to be a college student, it comes with advantages like networking opportunities. But I live 2 hours away from my school, so how can I network 2 hours away? I can't go to the networking events, right? It would make sense for me to go live near my school. My school is in Atlanta. Who the fuck has $2,000 to pay for rent in Atlanta? And I can barely afford to pay rent where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? Like, who can do that as a student? What are y'all thinking? These students out here popping coochie. Okay, they is on the poles. They is scamming. Okay, they is selling the drugs. Selling people. Selling something. They selling something. Their souls. At the very least. Okay. Just to get an education. That they're not even getting. Because Quizlet is doing all the work. Chegg is doing all the work. Google is doing all the work. I'm paying for access codes to do the work that my teacher is not trying to do. My teacher want to grade papers and grade quizzes. She don't need to do all that. The computer does it. So what the fuck am I paying tuition for? When I could just pay for the access code my damn self. I'm saying all this because I just withdrew from a class the other day. I was kind of ashamed to admit it. Because I felt so sleepy, right? I was like, you know what? I've been working hard. I'm going to take a nap. Took a little nappy nap, woke up. It was 10:30, 10:40. So I'm like, okay. I can do some homework now. I had a little nappy and I'm good to go. Open up my computer. I missed the fucking midterm. I was like, you know what? I ain't gonna stress about it. I'm just gonna withdraw. I cannot do this. Cannot do it. And I probably shouldn't have. Probably should have. I don't know. Nobody's helping me. Nobody's telling me what to do. Nobody's just available at the brink of me jumping off an edge just to say, okay, we'll do this, do that. I have to go where my peace is at. My peace is not stressing to make ends meet so that I can pass a class that I cannot keep. There was really no excuse. Other than I just didn't know that. For one, I didn't know I had a midterm. I did not know that. And two, I didn't know that there was time. Like, I was too focused on trying to survive to take this class. Trying. I just couldn't do it both, right? And I can't be ashamed. If you are somebody that withdraws from class, you are a strong motherfucker. Because to stay in the class and fail when you know it's not really possible for you to pass, when you can just try again. I don't know. See, I don't know. No one's ever I've never just seen somebody just stay in a class and fail and just be okay with that. I'll say, fuck it. I'm not finna do it. I'm gonna find a way out so that I'm not labeled as a failure, for one. And then for two, so that I'm setting myself up for an opportunity to pass. But if I know I'm gonna fail, baby, I'm gonna knock myself on out the game. We'll try this again. We're gonna start over. That's another thing about me. So I guess more into this new series, I'm just gonna talk more about who I am as a person more than who I was or my life, how my life has been, or you know what I'm saying? Less life, more me, because it's the life of Lexx, not the Lexx of life. I don't know, I just made that up. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to let y'all know who I am. Because, one, I'm not somebody to mess with. And you can play with it all you want to. I'm going to allow you to try me as much times as you like. I'm still going to smile and laugh and probably going to walk away. But it's pure entertainment at this point. Like, tell me what you really think. Let me know. So I can know how to adjust myself. Because I don't need you thinking I'm the bottom of the barrel. Because that ain't me. And if you think that of me, then that's something I'm doing wrong. But not saying that I am that. But I have misrepresented myself for you to allow you to think that I am bottom of the barrel. Okay? So I have to represent myself as not bottom of the barrel. Because, bitch, I'm the creme de la creme. Okay? And with that being said, I'm going to talk to y'all later because I'm running out of time. So, love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all be safe. And don't be doing this dumb shit I used to do. Don't do what I did. Do better. Or do it more fun. You know, have more fun than I did. Because I had a lot of fun, but sometimes I didn't. And I wish I would have had more fun. So I wish that for y'all to just have more fun. Okay? Bye.